That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
All right, guys, we just continued to hit milestones, just passing 18,000 subscribers, and we had a fantastic stream last night. Thank you all so much for coming out to the stream. We will be streaming tonight as well at 9 p.m. Central. We also stream on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central, and Thursday after the game, Sunday morning. Y'all know the drill. We stream every single day. I mean, in October, we missed 2 days to streaming. Both of them, I just had to go do something with my girlfriend because she's already tired of me dedicating my life to this YouTube channel. Still, I'm going to continue to work harder than anybody else on Fantasy Football YouTube because y'all are by far and away the best audience on Fantasy Football YouTube, and I owe y'all a massive, massive thank you. I cannot wait till we get to 20,000 subscribers and we have our NFL Combine video go live. We're recording it on Saturday. I have a couple people coming out to record it, and it should be a lot of fun, and I have some funny ideas. But anyway, let's get into this video and let's talk about 5 running backs that are skyrocketing in fantasy football value going into week 9, whether that is them showing us they have the talent, whether that is their situation around them changing for the better. Regardless, we're going to cover it. And first, let's start with Justin Jackson. Now, y'all know I kind of aggressively ranked Justin Jackson last week, where I told a majority of people to get him in their fantasy football lineups because we looked at him 2 weeks ago, and while he only had 5 carries, we saw that he had the total reception number of 5, and that was going to be extremely optimistic for his upcoming week just because 2 weeks ago he went into that game and he was a game time decision, someone that we did not even think was going to play once we got to Sunday morning with all the reports coming out, and then he played extremely injured, and we knew that going into last week his role was going to increase, and that's exactly what happened. Not only did his role increase where he saw 20 total touches, but he was extremely efficient with those touches as well, going for over 140 yards. Just something that, yes, we're not going to be able to predict it every single week, but say we see his yardage go down by 40 yards a game, it doesn't matter, because if he gets some positive touchdown regression on his side, say he has the stat line of 90 total yards, 4 receptions, and a touchdown, that's going to vault him up to being a low-end running back 1. And what we also saw in this game against the Denver Broncos was that Joshua Kelly was benched for a period just because of how ineffective he has been over the past few weeks. So with Justin Jackson going forward, this is a running back that I almost want to call a must start every single week that Austin Eckler is going to miss, just because it looks like he's stepping to be a 1-for-1 replacement with Austin Eckler. Obviously, he's not the same kind of talent, but it doesn't matter when he's getting that type of workload. Okay, now this next player, I'm only going to mention him briefly, but because, I mean, he's a must-start player for you every single week. So when we're evaluating him going forward, it's purely just going to be with his trade value, and this is going to be Dalvin Cook. So Dalvin Cook had 30 carries this past week against the Green Bay Packers, only 2 receptions, but it did not matter. Over 200 total yards and 4 total touchdowns. If you went up against Dalvin Cook, which I did in many leagues, I mean, it was just a very, very tough day for you. Now, with this running back going forward, I think we can confidently say that he is going to be a top 5 running back, but here, nothing has changed just because we know that this offense has been centered around Dalvin Cook pretty much for the entire year. And at the very beginning of the season, before we saw Justin Jefferson really emerge and Justin Jefferson able to stretch this defense and allow Dalvin Cook to get that room to operate underneath, I mean, the offense was horrible, but Justin Jefferson really transformed it, is really allowing Dalvin Cook to come out here and have great, great success. And it can't hurt that Dalvin Cook is one of the most talented running backs in the NFL anyway. So going forward, we know that this coaching staff wants to be run first, pass second. And honestly, when we are looking at the projections for Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen going forward, I think that maybe I was a little bit too bullish on this overall passing offense, because the thing is with their defense, yes, we know that they are going to be bad and give up a lot of points in a lot of games. And in those games, we know that Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen should see a ton of production because they are going to have to be passing the ball to catch up. clearly in a game where they don't necessarily just go in a massive deficit, we are going to see them just continue to give the ball to Dalvin Cook, and that is something that's going to really impact the overall upside and floor combination of the pass catchers on this offense. Regardless, Dalvin Cook looks like he may be the running back 2 rest of season, only behind Alvin Kamara. Clearly, we're going to have to see how Christian McCaffrey looks coming back into Carolina, but still, I mean, this is a player that looks untouchable in fantasy football at the moment. Now, our next player, I'm not going to spend too much time on him because we did cover him in our waiver wire video. Zack Moss, y'all know he was one of our premium waiver wire pickups a week ago, and now we are doubling down saying the same thing this week. While yes, he's not available in nearly as many leagues, pretty much he's only available in half of the Yahoo leagues, and that means if y'all are actually paying attention, most likely he's not even available in your league. Regardless, this is a guy that saw 14 carries, over 80 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now, what I will say with Zack Moss is he is not an every start running back for us just because Devin Singletary is splitting this backfield with him directly 50-50. And we know that Josh Allen is not a quarterback that really looks to check the ball down. Josh Allen either wants to chunk it deep or Josh Allen is going to scramble out of the pocket and make things happen with his legs. So Zack Moss, yes, he at this point, I think that we are viewing him as someone that you can play in positive matchups or someone that you can play in the absence of Devin Singletary. And honestly, I don't think it's just completely out of the realm of possibility to see a Devin Singletary injury just because Devin Singletary is a severely undersized running back coming into the NFL. And obviously, we're not going to be able to expect every running back to play all 16 games. So in the absence of Devin Singletary, if that happens at all in 2020, I think that we see Zack Moss vault up to be a high-end running back 2 based on the opportunity that he'll have in this offense. And I'll say right now, with the running backs in Buffalo, while they both should be rostered, I don't think either one of them can touch your starting lineup until we have some more clarity. Okay, now our next running back, I left him for dead. I mean, I was so surprised seeing this production this past week, but Damien Harris, 16 carries, over 100 total yards, and a touchdown. Now, the reason I was completely giving up on Damien Harris is just this New England Patriots offense overall was completely unable to move the ball in the past few weeks, and I did not expect that to get any better without a N'Keal Harry, without a Julian Edelman. I thought that this was going to be one of the worst offenses in the entire NFL in Week 8. Still, we saw that it did not matter whatsoever with the production of a Damien Harris, who came out here and really provided you those running back 2 numbers. But going forward, honestly, this is not necessarily a running back similar to Zack Moss that I'm going to feel comfortable putting in my starting lineup. One, we know that Damien Harris has been an absolute zero in the passing game so far for the New England Patriots. This is actually why I kind of liked Damien Harris as a waiver wire pickup 3 or 4 weeks ago, because we knew coming out of Alabama that he had the pass catching ability. We just wanted to see if it was going to translate to the NFL. Clearly, it did not. Clearly, they are using him as a 1-for-1 replacement with Sony Michel. And I think at this point, Damien Harris has clearly showed that he is a more talented back than Sony Michel. But with Bill Belichick, we have no idea how he is going to implement this backfield when Michel comes back off the short-term IR. So if anything, Damien Harris may be making our sell high video. If he's on your waiver wire, he's definitely worth the pickup. But if you have him right now and you play in a deep league where someone may be looking for a running back 2, I think that Damien Harris may just be one of these running backs that we try to get off of just because he has no usage in the receiving game right now whatsoever. He is purely a touchdown or bust running back on a very bad NFL offense. Okay, now I personally, this is the running back that I thought was the most exciting this week. This was going to be J.K. Dobbins. I mean, extremely optimistic with what we saw. 15 carries, 121 total yards, and a reception. Now, yes, he did split this backfield 50-50 with Gus Edwards, but I think at this point, we can clearly say that both Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins are going to be more talented running backs than Mark Ingram, and I think because of that, we are going to expect their opportunity to be higher over the next pretty much the entire season, just because with Mark Ingram coming back off that ankle injury, there is no reason for the Baltimore Ravens to implement him as the starting running back after seeing what both Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins were able to accomplish on the ground this past week. Obviously, with J.K. Dobbins, we are going to have to see him get some more touches away from Gus Edwards for him to be someone that we could confidently rely on each and every week. I thought that this was just a great performance to show that he truly does have that top 5 running back upside that we thought he did if anything happens, so he can get about 60 to 75% of this offensive touches. If that's going to happen, we are going to see J.K. Dobbins vault up to be a running back 1. Now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, please make sure you go down there, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us out. And I will be live streaming tonight. It does not matter what night you're going to be watching this. I will be live, and I hope to see you there.